Chapter 5. It's about planning and controlling your projects. When you define your project scope, on Chapter 4, you learn how to use work breakdown structures to decompose your entire project into smaller and manageable work packages where you can have a dictionary defining the resources, the money, and time you'll be needing to complete your work package. If you do a good job at estimating the project time and cost for each individual work package, think about you aggregate all of them. That will give you the total project time and cost for your entire project. So in this chapter, you are trying to learn how you'll be able to improve the accuracy of your estimation for each individual work package. And ultimately, you'll be able to increase the accuracy of your estimate for your entire project in terms of how much time and money you will need in order to complete the entire projects. In general, there are two types of estimates. The first one is called macro approach, top-down approach. And within that approach has three kinds called analogy, group consensus, or mathematical relationships. I will give you more detailed explanation with some example later in these chapters. For the bottom-up approach, it's called micro, which is look at each individual work package you have created with your work breakdown structures and try to focus on improving the accuracy of your estimate for each work package. And hopefully, altogether, you will get a better pictures about how much time and money you need to deliver the projects. If you do a good job in estimating your project time and cost, for you as a good project managers, then you can make a better decision. Then you know how long the project will be taking and how much time you'll be needing and how much money you'll be needing at any given point. So your project won't be disrupted at any given point. There are many factors that could affect the quality of your estimate of time and money. For instance, the planning horizon. If I ask you to estimate how much money you'll be needing the 10 months from now versus how much money you'll be needing for today, what do you think the estimate, which one would be giving me a more accurate estimate now versus 10 months from now? Of course, now you can give me a better estimate than any estimate you will give me a 10 months from now. Another example would be the people you're asking for estimate. You're asking the top manager to estimate for your individual work breakdown package. He or she probably never did a job, so he or she probably had no idea about how much time and money will be needed. Now you already know it's not easy to have an accurate estimate of the time and money for the entire projects. So the best way of doing it is to look at each work package and do a good job at the lowest level, at the work package level. Because if you do a good job at the very micro level, when you go up to the macro, then it all makes sense. So here's one example about how you'll be able to prepare your initial estimate of time and money for individual work package. And here are a few the factors that you want to consider when you try to develop your work package estimate. First, for instance, you want to use the people who actually will be doing the job to provide the estimate because he knows how much time and money he will need in order to do his jobs. Second, you want to assume that whatever estimate you have, maybe there could be some surprise. For instance, couple you're doing wedding event and could be raining. So what you have to do when you come to an estimate, initial one, just assuming the weather will be in good condition. And that will give you an idea about how much estimate you will need. The second, you want to invite many people to do an estimate, because some people could be more optimistic, some people could be more pessimistic. So it'd be a good idea to hear from different people and get an estimate based on everyone's opinions. Second, when you come to an estimate, you want to make sure you use a consistent time units. If you decide to have an estimate based on the month instead of weeks, then all your estimate for your work program structure package has to be on the time units. Some tasks are depending on each others. For instance, to create a house, you have to have foundation before you build your wall. But when you come to an estimate, make sure those tasks are independent from each others. So you only think about each individual task rather than try to think them as a joint tasks. And that would improve the accuracy of your estimates. In addition, don't make any allowance for contingencies. Something could be happening, I know. But when it does happen, there will be another estimate rather than to be part of your estimate for your individual tasks. And also you want to include a risk assessment in case something doesn't go the way you want, and that will create another individual task. Then you want to have an estimate for that too. So for top-down estimate, usually it comes from someone who already had experience. He had done the job before, similar job. For instance, you ask someone who had organized a wedding event before. He probably could tell you roughly you'll be costing around $40,000 and how much time to plan, about 6 months ahead, and so on and so forth. So you can basically use what other people being telling you based on the experience, and then you can try to come out with your estimate. The bottom-up approach is more like you start with a work package and try to roll up the work package and the money you'll be needing to complete the work package at the work package level. And once you have all the money and time information at each work package level, you aggregate them whole. That will give you a total the budget and time required to complete the entire projects. So here are the conditions for when you need to use the top-down approach and when you need to use the bottom-up. So for top-down approach, usually will come from the top for small projects, and there's a high uncertainty. So for the people at a low level, they don't want to take risks. So they could just make a decision at a strategic level, and for project managers and his team, basically to take the budget and the time constraint and try to deliver a project. For bottom up will be more for a fixed price contracts, and customer want more detailed information, and to customer, money and time is important. So you can try to focus on improving the accuracy of the bottom up approach. So the preferred approach is to use a combine the top-down and bottom-up approach. You can start with the rough estimate with about the accuracy range from 20 to 60%, and then you develop your work breakdown structures, and then you make bottom-up estimate. So that will give you some gap between top-down approach and bottom-up approach. And try to come up with your schedule and budget if there's a difference between top-down and bottom-up approach. And you try to reconcile this difference and make a decision out of that. For my next video, I'm going to talk about the different top-down and bottom-up approach with specific example, and I will resume my lecture after this slide.